Hey everyone, 2 here. Nowadays, more than ever, it's important that game dev teams actually care about whatever it is that they're making. After all, why would we, the players, sink time and be invested into something if its creators didn't invest themselves into it? Thankfully, this is something that's not difficult to determine, because if passion was put into a game, you would know, right? You would enjoy it, you would feel it, you would see it. This is Lynae, the first character of the latest expansion in Wuthering Waves. And it's clear that the people behind this character really cared about her, because when deep diving into her 3D model, the effort is immediately evident. There are so many details, secrets, and even clear improvements from their past models packed into it. So here are some things that I've noticed, and today I tried to get a good mix of both technical and fun details. Please enjoy. First up, we've got some very precise, stylized shadows. For example, on her dress shirt. Now, those familiar with shadows in 3D games know that it is an absolute pain to get real-time shadows to behave exactly how you want them to, which is why they instead used a special method, which I first noticed back when Zany came out. And this technique is to use a separate shadow texture, which is just a copy of the original texture, darkened a little, and with the shadows painted in. This secondary texture blends in and out depending on whether the character is under a light source or not. Some other areas this is used in are the hair, neck, and skirt ruffles. And these are seamlessly combined with the procedural shadows to keep things convincing while still having that stylized, hand-drawn level of control. And when it comes to 3D anime models, it's all about having that precise control. This is also used in the reverse way, which I will explain. If you look at her glittery eyeshadow, you'll notice that it retains its brightness in the shadow texture, which is a clever way to suggest that this is a shiny or emissive material. Side note, this is really pretty and you can see it in a lot of the trailers and cutscenes. Moving on, her tacit mark location is on her back left thigh, and I think this is the first back thigh mark, and let's just say it's a quite strategic placement, because it's gonna get a lot of screen time whenever she's skating around, and especially when she's riding the motorbike, which is the main method of transportation in this update. On that note, what you'll notice about Lynae is she's made to transition from riding to skating to fighting as she moves through the world. And to supplement that, she has these sick heelys where the wheels flip with the heels to switch between the shoes' modes. So these wheels come down when she's skating and flip back up when they're not active, and these front sections also tuck away. They gave even just her shoes its own rigging, its own VFX, and animations to go with it. It even has these 3 wheels that you don't even really get to see, but it looks like they go down when the front ends come up. That is some attention to detail. Now, after seeing these next few details, I was pretty convinced that Kuro Games really does love Lynae. They took some extra time with her. See, they took the time to weave her backstory into the design of the character itself. Now, without spoiling the entire story for you, let's just say that Lynae isn't all that she portrays herself to be. She's got some secrets, and her design resonates with her story. Get it? Resonates because in the game the characters are called resonators, so she's like resonating with... Forget it. In all of her trailers and cutscenes, Lynae appears to be this vibrant and carefree girl. But if you notice, her base academy uniform is mostly just black and white. They're then accented by these colorful modifications which she curated and placed onto the uniform. Mostly touches of spray paint and accessories to give it life and make it pop. You know what would be crazy? What if she had a past life that was also kind of like a boring canvas, and she didn't really like that, so she took matters into her own hands and then went ahead and... just like how she styles her academy outfit. On that note, Lynae is a master of using color theory to her advantage. She loves styling pink and cyan together, which is a common complementary color pair for that punky, energetic look. Complementary colors are opposites on the color wheel, so they create contrast and excitement, but she also uses analogous colors like when her natural sandy blonde hair gradients into a minty green, or her tie which goes from turquoise to this yellowy green. Analogous colors blend gently and create harmony, so her whole aesthetic becomes a little more balanced. This is the ideal look that she's trying to go for. Okay, if you're like me, then at first glance, you might have looked at this area and thought these are shadows. But they're not. And at this point, I'm just gonna put all spoiler explanations together in the description, so if you're interested in that, take a quick read, and it'll explain the significance behind this neat little detail. Right, but while we're here, take a look at this front bang highlight. You might have noticed something slightly different compared to previous characters. That's right, it's now dynamic and moves with a view angle. Pretty much only the newest characters have this. Another one that has it is Chisa, but even just a few patches ago, highlights were baked into the texture. Which is a cute and classic solution, but if I'm being honest, I think the dynamic one is a lot better. Seeing things like this gives me hope that Kuro Games is still innovating and evolving their models. A challenge that all gacha games have is that they have a defined central art style, which can definitely be limiting if a game ever says, yep, this is all we're gonna do for the rest of the years of service that this game will have. But Lynae's character model keeps the distinct Wuthering Waves charm while introducing techniques they haven't used before. I think any patch now we're gonna see Ears 2.0. I'm calling it now. Even the way the hair flows during running has improved. Here are some version 1.x characters in comparison to Lynae's, which is more free and fluid. One thing I need to mention that I'm sure didn't go unnoticed is how this character feels so alive. Yeah, you can look at her static model in Blender and it's impressive, sure, but what takes it to the next level is Kuro Games' continuous improvement in the effort beyond the modeling. I'm talking about the animation, the wide range of expressions, and mocap movements in what seems to be the highest volume of cutscenes we've seen yet within the story. And this is doing wonders for bringing out every aspect of who this character really is. Let's quickly mention the expressions because she has a lot of them. Oh, so this is where it's being used. She was like munching on something. Because I was checking out the shape keys and there were like 4 different variations of just a cheek pout. But yeah, generally speaking, this character has so much more facial expressions than most of the other characters. She might even have the most right now. Side note, I was trying to see if they included some of the other stuff, like when she puts her mask on, is this included in the model, and also her bubble gum. I couldn't find anything for those two. Maybe I was looking in the wrong place. But one thing I did stumble upon when I was trying to look for them was I saw her tongue and I was like, wait, why does her tongue look so detailed? Then I checked older models and yes, this is definitely their next tongue generation. One thing that definitely supplements all of these cutscenes and all of the close-ups on her face is their use of corrective shape keys. Wuthering Waves face meshes are already top tier in terms of view angles and just looking good from wherever you see them from, but corrective shape keys just takes it to another level because you can fine tune it exactly how you want it, and you can kind of do these small stylization tricks where, how do I explain it? So like in hand-drawn style sometimes, right? Mouths are drawn in a way where it doesn't make sense if you think about it, but aesthetically it looks good. So yeah, a large percentage of these shape keys that you see on this list are actually corrective shape keys, with a lot of them being facial tweaks. And there's even this one for the arm. I don't know exactly which animation this is supplementing, but if I'm gonna take a guess, it's either when she has her pistol out or when she's riding the bike. Ooh, now take a look at this little guy. How cute. It even has the stitches painted in. This is an enemy found in the overworld, not in Lahai Roi as far as I currently know, but you do encounter them in one of the previous areas in a snowy mountain region called Mount Firmament. And geographically, Lahai Roi, the region Lynae is in, is described as being under a cold region. So that might be part of the connection as to why she has this specific echo as her keychain. Moving on, let's do our traditional checks. The midsection and pelvis area are left in the file as these do get slightly exposed whenever she's riding the motorcycle. As usual, not much going on here up top. Shoes check time. And I do have a special announcement. We got socks! Now there are a couple theories I've heard as to why some characters have the socks left in, where others they just have everything under the shoes deleted. There might be future skins. And another thing people keep telling me is that there's a certain hot spring or bath in the game where if you go there at night, they remove their shoes when they go in it. But either I'm getting baited or people think that is barefoot, but it's not, it just looks like it. As you can see, you can still see the shape of the shoes. Or maybe I'm at the wrong hot spring. Please, send help. Ooh, would you look at that? I typically meme about these thigh bands because nowadays like every character has one, but it never really serves a functional purpose. But finally, we have a functional thigh constrictor. That's not just interrupting the blood circulation. It's actually holding something in a pouch, which is, I think it's her spray paint bottle. Here's a huge one. Yep, she has a mole on her chest. Guys, there is a lot of detail in this model and there's not going to be time to cover them all. Plus, there's so many things that I discover the more I look into it and the more I play the story and watch some of the content they release about her. So I'm going to wrap it up with one last one, which I thought was pretty impressive. I wish I had the time to go more in detail about all of the things that I like about this outfit, like this belt pouch thingy that goes around her waist, or this ID card with its shiny effects. Lots of fun stuff going on. But one thing I really liked is this slinged jacket that acts kind of like her cape. And this thing is so intricate. I don't know why they went so hard for literally the jacket that's not even on the character, but just hanging off her back. Take a look at this. It's got this extra outer green layer. Yeah, it's got multiple embellishments like this cat, small drawn details like this. It's got the inside of it fully painted and textured from what I assume is like Lynae's spray painting, her own little spray paint or tie-dye design. And you got the sleeves fully modeled too. Okay, sorry about saying fully modeled. There's some people that don't like the term fully modeled. It gives them bad memories. The cuffs are all there, right? This is a full-on jacket. Like they actually modeled the full jacket. Because usually, if it's just a back accessory like this, what you'll often see the designers do is just make it a flat plane. Like, you don't have to model all of this. But they did, which is crazy. You got the hood segment as well. It's real craftsmanship, dedication, and commitment to the design. All in all, this was another great character design by Wuthering Waves and an absolute joy to dissect and learn from in terms of modeling. For me personally, it's their best one yet when factoring in aesthetics, detail, effort, and the technical threshold reached in this model. The game has come off of a great year, and if they keep this level of quality in their character modeling, I can't expect that 2026 will be much different, and we would be in for a treat. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, my goats. I have more 3D model breakdowns on my channel if you're interested. Bye bye, and have yourselves a good night.